Hi, my name is Cassie. I'm from Muncie, Indiana, about an hour away from Indianapolis, Indiana. It's the home of Ball State and the home of volleyball for the state. Um, Growing up in Muncie, most people don't realize that there's more to Muncie than just Ball State. Have you ever wondered how Ball State got its name or the history beyond the university? Most students don't take the time to sit down and even think about this, the time that they're living in for the next 4 years. Muncie has a greater impact on history than is perceived. Due to the state of the town now, it makes it hard to believe that at one point it was once a thriving cultural place. From Bob Ross to ball jars to TV screens and being mentioned on movies, Muncie has a large historical background. Native Americans to World War II, and even having a school that was based from the movie Hoosiers. Having grown up in Muncie from the time that I was born until just last year, I learned a lot about this city. My entire family is from Muncie, my parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and they told me a lot of stories about how Muncie was founded and developed and everything. Muncie had a very important role in industrial revolution and thing for the state. The Ball Company was founded in 1884 in Buffalo, New York, and decided to take roots in Muncie in 1887 due to the natural gas reserves. Muncie is also known for being mentioned on the news, TV, and things. Lately, the news hasn't been so good. It involves food injuries, but they have a part in many movies and cartoons. Muncie's had an important role in the manufacturing industry. The Ball Company official website states that the Ball Company decided to move their company due to the fact that Muncie was a great place with lots of natural gas reserves. In 1887, just 22 years after Muncie was declared a city, ball jars are known far and wide and still used to this day, especially down south. Most people don't know that Ball is also the people that make Coca-Cola cans and Pepsi cans. And they were also made in Muncie for a short period of time. Up until 2009, Muncie was the sole factory for ball jars. When the Ball Company decided to part their ways with Muncie, they decided to move away due to the fact that there were not enough spaces for them to continue to grow. During World War II, many of the factories in Muncie decided to start producing air parts. GM and Borg Warner were turned into factories to make aircraft parts for the war. Many of the females in the area decided to continue to help, and as much of the country did. Muncie had a role on the movie screen and in TV. Most people know the famous alumni from Muncie, Jim Davis. Jim Davis was the creator of Garfield and is from Muncie, Indiana. Muncie is home to Paws Inc. and continues to be the home for Garfield. If you go to the Children's Museum anytime, you can always see a bunch of Garfield things because he likes to donate lots of his work there. Muncie also played roles in famous movies such as Hoosiers. Most people don't know the true story to Hoosiers. The original story is a game against Milan and Muncie Central, a school about 5 minutes away from Ball State. It still stands today and has one of the oldest high school gyms in the area. The famous TV show Bob Ross, The Joy of Painting was also filmed in Muncie. The Joy of Painting was filmed from 1983 to 1988 out of the house of L.L. Ball, according to the Miniaturista Society. Continuing with the Ball family, much of the history of the town of Muncie stems from one place, stems from the Ball family. Not only did the Ball family supply the land grant and want Ball State to be a teaching hospital, in 1918 they also funded much of the initial building of the university. Ball State just recently had its 100-year anniversary. It's one of the oldest colleges in the state and has one of the best teaching programs to this day. Historical recollections from the history blog state that the Ball family also left behind their mark on the healthcare of the community. In 1920, after many years of trying to improve public health, Ball family opened a Ball Memorial Hospital, which still is standing today. Recently, in the past 10 years, it was bought out by IU Health. Until then, it was just the Ball Hospital. It's one of the nicer hospitals in the area. In conclusion, Muncie is a very interesting place if you do a little digging, a little research, and just try and get to know where you're living. From manufacturing ball jars that are still loved to this day, helping people create moments every day, to building airplane parts for World War II. From TV screens to movie screens, through Bob Ross from Hoosiers to sports to art, Muncie is a part of the Ball family, with so much more of their family history still being in this town and being preserved today. The Ball family is one of the founders of this town. Although Muncie seems like a small, boring town, at its roots, filled with surprises, the university for teachers, Muncie has had a much larger part of history than one would think.